Hey, good morning. Good to be back with you in Dallas, Texas, and working out in one of my favorite gyms here this morning. You know, about 10 years ago, I read a book, and it was by Twyla Tharp. And Twyla Tharp is a lady that was one of the great choreographers and dancers, and this book was about the creative habit. She actually won the MacArthur Fellowship Award. They call that the Genius Award. And so just an outstanding individual in her own right, an author and choreographer and dancer. But in the book, she was talking about some of the habits that she had in her own life, and that she really gave so much credit to her success for some of these simple little habits. And she started to describe one of them in the book. And it was the fact that at 5:30 every morning, she'd wake up, she had all of her workout clothes laid out, her leggings, her hat, her workout jacket, and she'd put those on at 5:30. She'd go downstairs in her Manhattan apartment, walk out the door, and hail a cab. That cab would take her to Pumping Iron Gym at 91st, and I believe it's 5th Street in New York. And what she said was that it wasn't the working out for 2 hours and the dedication that she had to that workout. She said it was about the routine of hailing the cab. And that one little bit of information really changed some things for me in terms of my own personal habits. I was traveling a lot on the road, doing a lot of flying, and having a hard time really working out on the road. And that little idea about changing my routine, it was easy for me to get up in the morning and really get started, but it was the idea of working out on the road. For some reason, couldn't make it happen. And I started to lay out all of my gym clothes. Sounds a little crazy, but I laid them out, the socks, the shoes, the shirt, and I've had some bands that I like to work out with, and I laid them all out there. And I'll tell you, from that day on, just that simple little thing of changing up the routine made it so much easier for me to, I don't even want to say motivate myself to do it, because I don't think it was about motivation. It was about getting out of bed. I'd look at those clothes, they were there, and I knew that if I worked out, I'm going to feel so much better, have so much energy, and I'm going to come home from some of these trips feeling a lot better than if I had laid around in bed and just, read those newspapers and all that garbage that's in those newspapers. So I give a lot of credit to Twyla Tharp, and wrote a really good book too about the creative habit. That's what got me into it in the first place. If you want another benefit, on November 6th, my partner wrote a wonderful blog, and it was about habits, and it's about the idea of the cue, the routine, and the reward, the actual process of building, habits. And we know it's all about the repetition. It's all about the repetition. And the idea, if we can just get those reps down, after time, we start to build those new neural pathways, and believe me, it's going to become a lot easier. And another little tidbit that I also picked up was the idea that, as I'm in here this morning, is a little tired this morning, but I just said to myself, hey, if I can just get on that bike and ride it for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I'm going to be a lot better off than if I had not done it. And what happens every time? You ride a little bit harder, or maybe a little bit longer, and you really feel good about it. So, hey, I hope you've had a great week. It's great to be here with you this week. I'll see you next week. This is Pete Kunk, Built to Lead.